Hello everyone, this is Chef K here. I want to try something different here. We're going to try to actually do a recipe. My daughter's there taping for me.
Hey!
So I just want to try something. I know I had some assignments on Google Classroom, and I did a recipe for this banana bread that I'm going to do with you guys now. You have the recipe on Google Classroom and you have a assignment sheet, but I thought this would actually help out too if we actually did it right here and kind of could see it, the works of it getting put together. So we're going to start this recipe, and I'm going to kind of work like I would work with you guys anyway, with asking you questions, and I'll probably answer my own questions, of course, but or maybe Sarah can help answer questions, whatever. But I just kind of want to help it with the sheet that I sent out to you guys also. So anyway, this banana bread. So we're going to have three basic dry ingredients, okay? So the first one is flour. So when it says flour, it says we need 2 1/4 cups. So does anybody remember what measurements we're gonna need? So we need 2 measurements, and we need a couple tools for this also. So one of the measurements is gonna be a what? A cup, a dry cup measure. So we're gonna need this, and we're gonna, since it says 2 1/4 cups, we need to do this twice. The next one is going to be a 1/4 cup. So we're going to have to do that once. So we also need, what else is our spatula to level off, right? And of course we have, if you look here on the table, I have a lot of the mise en place out already, so I'm not running around my kitchen looking for everything. I'm hoping I have everything for you guys here. So anyway, we're going to start out with the flour. And of course, when we do the flour, we're going to fill the cup up and have it actually heaped. And I have a little scoop here to help me out. And we're going to heap it right over, and we're going to do 1 cup, and then we're going to level it, and that's going in there 1 bowl. We're going to do that one more time for 2 cups. Again, we're going to fill it right over, heap it, and then we're going to level it with our spatula. All right, and if you go forwards or backwards, wherever you have to level it off and fill in. So there's our 2 cups. And then we need 1/4 cup. That's going to be very easy to fill because it's just a 1/4 cup. And we'll do the same thing with that. So now we have our flour all measured. All right, so we did our cup twice, a 1/4 cup. And for right now, we're done with them. And then we need baking powder. So baking powder, we're going to do 1 1/2 teaspoons of that. So what I like, the ones that are at home, these baking powders, is that you have the flat edge here that you can actually level off as you go. So we're going to take one, it's 1 1/2 teaspoons, and we'll just level it off with that flat part there. And then that's 1 teaspoon, and then we're going to get our 1/2 teaspoon and do that once. So that's our 1 1/2. All right, that's our baking powder. Then we have to have baking soda. And you only need a 1/2 teaspoon of that. So we're going to go back to our 1/2 teaspoon. And I usually try to level off at the top. And see how nice and flat and leveled that is. And then that goes in. And then you can actually use your flat spatula to incorporate the dry ingredients together. So our dry ingredients are done. Now we're going to do our cream cheese mixture. So the cream cheese mixture is just an 8-ounce package. So it's just 1 package. All right, so you don't even have to measure it. It's already 8 ounces. So you just open that up. I've had this out a little bit. Actually, I went out to the store today and found a lot of stuff. I hope you guys are all keeping safe and doing what you need to do, is not get out much and wash your hands a lot. And I'm hoping you guys are all safe. And you know, I miss hanging out with you guys and doing these this work with you guys. But we're gonna make the best of it as we can. So this cream cheese has been out a little bit, so we're going to get that right in the mixer, because it says we're going to mix that with our butter and sugar. So I'm going to take the whole 8 ounces of this, and I'm going to put it right in our mixer. Make sure it's locked in. My rubber spatula, get it off. And if there's any excess on there, you can kind of scrape it off with your rubber spatula. that. Now the butter, it says you have to have, the butter, it says you need a quarter cup. So you guys remember the amount of a cup? So the cup is 8 ounces, right? So I know I showed you guys this plenty of times, as this is a 4-ounce stick. So does anybody know how many quarter cups are in a stick? So this is 4 ounces. A whole cup would be 2 sticks, right? So we have 1 stick. So if we cut this in half, that's actually a quarter cup. That's going to be 2 ounces. So a quarter cup is really just 2 ounces. So we're going to take this butter, and I'm just going to cut it right in half. And we're going to add that to our cream cheese and get that going. So just pretty much you can go right down the middle. If you need to look on the stick, it'll tell you how much on there also. We're going to throw that in. And now we have to get these attachments going. So I don't know if you guys remember the attachments. We have 3 different attachments. So we had the flat beater, the wire whisk, and the dough hook. So which one do you think we're going to use for this? Well, it's not a dough, so we can get rid of this one. And now it's a toss up between these two. I would say I'm going to do the paddle beater, because I'm not really whipping. I don't need a lot of air in this, so this is more for incorporating air. I'm going to use our paddle beater for this. So we're going to attach that. And this is pretty close to what we have in school, or we used to have in school. We have the new ones now. And then we can bring this down and actually lock this. And we're going to start mixing this up on a kind of a slow speed to start. And we'll keep our rubber spatula ready to scrape down. One other thing we always should be doing is, if we're baking something, what's that we do with the oven? What's that called, Sarah?
Preheat.
Preheat. And we have to know what temperature we have to preheat it. So on here, it's 350 degrees. So what I like about my oven, or most ovens, I guess, they all pretty much preheat to 350 right away. So we're gonna hit bake. And then we're just gonna hit start. And then as you see, it's already on 350, and we'll start preheating this oven. All right, now get that going. I'm gonna get this going a little faster so we can get that off the attachment. You can see that in there mixing. And while this is mixing, we're gonna get our sugar, because the sugar is the next item we need to measure. So the sugar, it has on here 1 cup of sugar. So I have my cup that I used for my flour before, and I'm just going to put my sugar right in. I'm going to actually use the same scoop on this and fill the sugar up. So 1 cup. And we're going to fill that right up. Man, this thing takes a long time with this scoop. Doggone it, I wish I had the big bin we had at school. It just takes one scoop and you're filled up. This has taken me like 8 scoops to get this thing. Oh no, I made a mess. Anyway, yeah, it's kind of a pain getting out of this little container here, but pretty much level it off the best you can. And then we have that, and actually I'm going to kind of just gradually just pour that in. Going to slow this down, actually shut it off, and we're going to scrape out. What was that thing we do with this rubber spatula? We do what? Scrape down. So we're going to scrape this down now and get this all off the sides. And you could get it off your beater too, if you need to get that off. Sometimes it's a good idea to scrape it off of there. And then we're going to just crank this back down, lock her down, and get going with it a little bit more. And we're going to continue mixing our sugar in there and get that all blended. So this is going to be like almost like creamy butter and sugar together, but we're doing cream cheese also. You notice I'm holding this cup up high. I'm not close to that beater bar at all. I'm kind of way up when I'm doing that, so I'm not like getting close where that's going to get put in that mixer. Now this is like whipping up nice. I'm going to go one more time scraping it, and this really looks like a nice consistency now, nice and smooth. and creamy, so that's what we're looking for. All right, and then try to get all your mixture off your rubber spatula. So we have our dry ingredients, our flour, baking powder, baking soda. We have our mixture of our sugar and our cream cheese and butter. So now we have to do, since it's banana bread, what do you think's coming next? Right, our bananas. So we have to get our bananas, and it says mashed. The only problem is I did have fully ripe bananas, but I think they were too ripe, so I was like, didn't really want to use them. So now these are kind of not as ripe as they probably should be. I did throw the other ones out. They were actually mush, so I'm trying to find the ripest one I can on here, and we're just gonna peel it. You guys know you peel from the other side, not from here. A lot of people like to peel this side. Really, this is the easiest side to peel, from this end. Anyway, so we're gonna peel these. I think just one will do. And I usually take that end off of that, pull that out, because there's like a little stem almost in that. And does anybody know what we can mash this with? What kind of tools could I take and mash this? So I'm gonna put this in a bowl. And what tool? I'm gonna actually go half for, well, I'll go both. I'm not sure if I need the whole thing or not. But anyway, so does anybody know the tool we could mash that with? So we want to press that and mash it. I mean, I'm sure if I put it in the mixer before I put this, I could mash it all up in that also. But it's not really the steps that the recipe calls for, so I'm kind of going in order here. So I think really the best thing, I don't know if you guys remember this tool. We use it for when we're using our pastries or biscuits and pie crust. It's a pastry blender. I'm hoping you guys still remember what this is called. And we're just gonna take that and mash the bananas with this. So it does just as well the job. And the only problem is, again, they should have been riper. But like I said, I waited too long for the ones I had, so I didn't want to mess with them. So they're probably going to be a little bit harder to mash than a real ripe one, which you probably just mash right up real easy. So I mash these the best I can in this bowl, and you can see we kind of have them mashed up real good. I'm going to actually take my rubber spatula and kind of get them more in the middle, and maybe mash a little bit more, and then that's going to do. So we need a cup of this. So actually I should check that out and see if I have enough to measure to fill a cup. So I actually have a cup, another cup here. And this is basically a lower cup. I like the shallow cup, not the deep one, if I'm measuring something like this, because it's going to be tough to get that all in there. It'd be easier getting it in this. So we're going to put our mashed bananas in there. And you know what? I might actually need 2 bananas. I didn't realize that was going to be, I thought maybe 1 would do me, but I guess not. It's about a half a cup, so I guess 2 bananas would be a cup. So I'm going to do 1 more banana here. So find another one. Let's go with this one. Oh, I hope my wife didn't want the bananas for something, because I'm using them up. But anyway, so we'll finish this up. And we'll get 1 more banana mashed up, and then that will be added. And we have to add some eggs too yet. So we're getting there. We're getting almost everything we need. I'm actually going to break this up a little smaller to help me mash it easier. Now I know why the chefs on TV always have that side towel. Constantly getting your hands messy when you're messing around with this stuff. Okay, pastry blender. We're gonna mash again. All right. I think that looks like it's mashed pretty good there. I'm gonna go with that. And I'm gonna add the rest of them bananas to this, and I think that'll be pretty darn close to a cup. And if it's not, that's gonna have to do for us for today. because if I do one more banana, I'm in trouble. So, yeah, that's pretty darn close. That's perfectly about the right amount, 1 cup. And then that can be mixed into the mixer. And really, it's gonna get mixed in nice and smooth with this already, so. That'll get in there, even mashed up more once in the mixer. Now we need to get our eggs. So now we need 2 eggs. So as we do at school, I'm gonna have my paper towel ready. And we're gonna have 2 eggs. And I might just do this like we do at work, like one at a time. So we're gonna crack our egg, open it, check for shells, looks fine to me. And we're gonna add it. All right, get 1 more egg, crack, open it up, good, no shells. And I think before I add this other one, I'm gonna scrape it down 1 more time and make sure this is all mixed in nice. It's really looking like a nice mixture now. And make sure it's all off the sides. And this is really, I don't know if I remember making this too often. I probably have, but not at home. Most of the recipes I do with you guys, I usually do at school. I don't do them at home half the time. And that's our last egg. So, since we have our egg out of here, we can actually clean up our mess from that. And so now we have everything in there, all our pretty much our liquid. It does call for walnuts, but I'm not really gonna go with the walnuts. I'm gonna you know, get rid of them. I don't think I have walnuts anyway. So anyway, we're gonna start doing our dry ingredients that we measured earlier. So just remember, when we add the dry ingredients, the flour, we're gonna mix that gradually. So we're gonna go real slow with that and not do it too quickly. So I usually do like we've done it at school. We do like maybe a cup, and we'll just add that gradually. All right, I don't know where my cameraman went to answer the phone. I hope you're still here to help me out here. All right, so that's incorporated. That's like about a 3/4 cup, and we'll add another 3/4. And then I think with this, I'm also gonna scrape it down. But it's really looking nice in here. If Sarah wants to zoom in on that and see how that looks. So it looks like a nice little batter going on there. Scrape it down 1 more time. And then we are going to incorporate more of the flour in. Since I have that up, I might add a good amount, and then we only have a little bit more after that to add. And I'll put this back down, locker. That's the one thing I miss at school is the shield. We have the shield that keeps the flour from shooting out. I don't have that here. Actually, I might have one, but I don't use it here. So that looks like it's incorporated really nice. Got a nice batter going there. And I'm gonna kind of get my mess cleaned up a little bit here. And then I'm gonna do one more thing with you guys. So we have to get it, since we had the batter pretty much made, there's something else we have to do. I don't know if anybody remembers. So we can't just put this batter in the stove, right? We have to put it in something. So it does call for a loaf pan. So I have a loaf pan here. And there's something we have to do with that. I don't know if anybody remembers, but when we have a loaf pan and we have to put the batter in, we have to do one more thing here, Sarah.
Butter the pan?
We have to butter or grease the pan.
Yes.
So I'm going to get another fresh piece of paper towel. Oh, I hope the paper towels are available in the stores. I'll tell you, anymore you go to stores, you can't find half the stuff you need. 7 o'clock, I'm out in the store. Anyway, so this looks like it's pretty good. I'm not going to do like some of you guys, just mix until there's nothing left to it. I'm stopping the mixer, and I am going to just maybe one more time. There's a little flour up on here. Scrape it down, and I think we are probably almost good to go. I think we're really in good shape here. And then the last thing, like I said, we're going to grease the pan. And when we grease the pan, you guys got to make sure you get the corners. The corners are very important. People always just grease the bottom and they say, okay, that's good. Then the sides you have to do. But let's grease the corners real good, because that's where it's going to stick. And then the sides. And actually, I'd go all the way up the sides, because this is going to rise up in this pan and probably go right to the top of the pan. So really think about that. You have to get the whole pan, sides and all. So we're going to get all the way up. And then a lot of times you can put your flour on this also and just coat it with a little flour. And that helps it not stick. And when I do that, I just kind of tap the flour around the pan, as you see, and get that all coated. That kind of will tell you too, if you coated your pan good, there shouldn't be any spots where the flour isn't sticking. It should be sticking to the whole pan. Actually, looks pretty good. We don't need all the excess flour. We're going to get rid of that. And you can see the pan's all ready. And now we just got to do put our batter in. All right. Stuck on there a little bit. She looks like I got too much flour still in there. All right. So the batter's here, as Sarah just showed you. And we're going to start putting that into our pan. Who knows, this might make two. It looks like there's quite a lot of batter here. So I'm just going to start putting it in. Fill our pan up nice. And who knows, I'd maybe make cupcakes or something with your muffins with the other ones. Actually, it looks like it'll fit in there. Doesn't look like too much. I think we can get it. If it goes over the top, Sarah can clean the oven. But anyway, yeah, this is pretty much it, guys. This is the recipe that I sent you. The questions were on there. I'm hoping you guys could answer them questions. Hopefully you guys have got on the classroom, Google Classroom, and have tried to at least get some signs. I mean, this is actually the first one. I think my daughter's actually on it. She's been checking me and seeing it can be that you can type in this stuff. So I mean, we might take a while to get us going. I mean, we're gonna try to get something going and do like little things like this. I might try to do some recipes and some worksheets, and you know, so we kind of have a little bit of normalcy if we can, even though it's not normal how we're doing this at home and everyone's home. I mean, I just hope everyone's safe. Again, I miss hanging out with you guys and doing this stuff at school, but you know, maybe we'll see if this works out and we could do some of these. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do this every day, but maybe, you know, every once in a while we'll do some recipes. Maybe I'll do some stuff that I'm gonna cook at my home, maybe my dinner or something I'll do and show you guys some of the stuff. All right, so again, guys, everyone stay safe, and I hope you guys maybe even want to try this at home, and stay safe, stay well, and we will see you soon. Thank you.